What is up? What is up? Welcome back to another NFL Rundown brought to you courtesy of RunPure Sports and RunPure Bets. I'm here today with Tyler Hicks. Tyler, my NFL wasn't very good last weekend. The plays that we talked about last Tuesday didn't do too well. But you know what the great thing about this industry is? The ability to bounce back and get right back on the horse. I know that you had a rough weekend as well. You know what? Let's just put that in our rearview mirror and move right along. We reviewed the games yesterday, but you weren't on. Title and I did it. Was there anything that we missed out that you wanted to talk on? I think it was the Browns and the Steelers.
No, not just that as much. I wanted to take my victory lap when I told you the Jets were going to beat that letdown spot for Houston Texans.
Okay, you
I told
deserve
you
that.
Zach Wilson was coming back, and they got the job done. They won it by at least a touchdown, so they got it done as plus 120 underdogs. But that Steelers team, they look bad. The defense is falling apart. TJ Watt's now on the COVID list.
Yeah.
The Browns, I mean, they lost key pieces of that offensive line. I see you guys out for the whole year now. I mean, if the Ravens can't pull away with this division or the Bengals, it's going to be a tough one for the other two teams to do anything.
Yeah, and when I was talking about the Steelers fans should be happy, I wasn't necessarily saying for this season, but my idea is, right, if the Browns overpay Baker and then the Ravens overpay Lamar, the quality of the rest of the players around them go down, right? Because if those guys jump from what do they make this year, between 10 to 15 million?
Yeah,
they
like
jump
right
up to
there.
40. That's 25 million. That's like three quality starters.
I think Lamar gets the big contract and Baltimore has to pay him, but I think they give Baker one of those incentive-based contract. Like, here's 20 million if you play and throw 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns, you make 35.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what they're going to do, but it's really going to be rough here.
The team that's sitting in the best spot right now is Cincinnati. A loaded offense, your defense is getting better, the division around you is just falling apart. I mean, this is their division to own for the next couple of years.
And they have the best quarterback in the division, right? And that's what you build around. So it's like you can rebuild your offensive line, you can rebuild your defense, but that quarterback, that's the piece that's elusive. And the Cincinnati Bengals have it. So, yeah, I just wanted to jump in there. We talked about it yesterday. I saw you in the chat. I want to jump in there. So definitely want to get your thoughts. And, we'll revisit these as we go through each game because we have a packed schedule. I think almost everybody plays. Is there any buys this week? I don't think there are. The Dallas Cowboys, -4.5. This will be Thursday night football in New Orleans, taking on the Saints, who got absolutely smoked. That was one of the few that we got right. We said the Bills are going to blow them away. And we were right about that. How do we approach this game on Thursday night, Tyler? Cowboys laying 4.5, coming off a loss to the Raiders, but it was a close loss, a competitive loss. The Saints coming off an absolute blowout. What is your idea here?
Yeah, I mean, we got that Buffalo game right, but another victory lap I'm going to take spread. I told you your Raiders were getting that W.
That's why I listen to you. That's why NBA will argue with you, but this NFL show.
He's like, I'm just sitting back in this one. But I mean, looking at this game Thursday, Dallas should have Cooper back. CeeDee's probably going to play. Amongst the RunPure guys, they're going to hate me for this one. I don't think Taysom Hill's a good quarterback. He's a good gadget player, but I don't think he's a good quarterback. I think Simeon's the better quarterback. Now you're going to stunt the offense a little bit. Give me Dallas -4 here. I don't see how they don't win this game by a touchdown.
And you're not worried about it being in New Orleans?
No, not even a little bit. I mean, that just puts it on the turf for these skill players for Dallas just to go crazy in this dome, no matter how loud it is. I just don't see, even with Kamara back too, I just don't see the Saints' path to victory here. And I see on DK, they have the only props they have listed right now are touchdown scores. They have Amari Cooper at +180. I think that is way too high. I think we got to take a shot at that. FanDuel has him at +110. So definitely getting a value there.
All right, we're getting some value on Amari Cooper, anytime touchdown. Guys, usually we like to do the props here on Tuesday, but they're a little late to the market this week. Tisk. To be fair, they got a lot going on in the world of sports. But to get access, of course, to all those props, make sure you head on over to runpurebets.com. Use the promo code BETS25 off to become a member. And, of course, subscribe to the channel you're watching right now because we will be live on Thursday night for the game on the RunPure Bets team. Led by the Keg. I will be there. Hopefully we'll get some Twatty, Holden, you never know who will jump in, Stevie Boyton, some guy Gavin that we've never met, but that talks through an avatar. I mean, all types of fun on that show. So make sure you are subscribed and we can go ahead and give you all the winners there. Let's jump into the Sunday slate. Minnesota Vikings -7 heading to Detroit to take on the Lions. The total here is 47. It's really hard to back the Lions right now. Vikings aren't looking very good either. Tyler, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Dalvin Cook's probably out for this game. I mean,
He's out.
He's like, yeah, I was about to say, I'm pretty sure, but I still don't see Detroit's path to victory here. They're not going to have the corners to cover these two receivers. Mm-hmm. It's a 1 o'clock game, so we don't have to worry about Kirk Cousins lining up under the right guard again.
That's right the path to victory, I figure, is Cousins
he'll be right back
lining
into his
up
routine.
in the wrong spot. Yeah.
I say we punch down that first leg of the teaser right here, spread. Vikings -1. And that 6-point teaser, we'll just knock them down right now, and we'll find the next team later on.
Okay, I just opened up bookmaker teaser, the Vikings, the first leg, and hey, we might be into it on the next one. Do you have any more on this
Our
game?
Vikings fan in the chat said the same thing. Vikings win, but don't want to lay the points. Goof teaser spot.
All right, and Jonathan Nelson, thank you for joining us. What is this prop that he's talking about? I don't even know this guy. Nwangwu?
I believe he's the third string running back.
So he's like Madison's backup?
Yeah, I believe. Okay.
Well, that's a great look because I'm sure it won't be too high, but they're not going to have Madison play 100% of the snaps. So inside information from our guy, Jonathan Nelson. And I'm sure Jonathan loved it earlier when I said my Los Angeles Lakers, man. I'm still cringing from saying that. I mean, how could they be unbelievable? I can't. Worst mistake I've made as a broadcaster so far. Tyler, let me see. Is this going to be our next teaser spot already? Did we already find it? The Arizona Cardinals laying 7.5 on the road to the woeful Chicago Bears, who escaped with a victory against the Lions, but were not able to cover. JJ and I ruined our appetite. That was terrible. But they did get the win. But now they're hosting Arizona Cardinals team coming off the bye. Tyler, do we want to bring this one down to -1.5, or am I being a little too SpongeBob SquarePants here?
Nope. I think we'll take this one right down to 1.5. I mean, Kyler should be back for this game. We should have Hopkins back too. Mm-hmm. The way to beat the Cardinals is, yes, run the ball. Montgomery could have a big game here, but I just don't trust the Chicago offensive line, and I don't think they're going to be able to keep them from scoring a ton of points here. Mm-hmm. We just seen the Chicago and Detroit team duke it out in a bad game on Thanksgiving. Now they're both getting matched up with high-powered offenses. They're both getting smashed this week. Let's just tease them down to 1 and not deal with having to win by a touchdown.
All right, so we have 2 legs of the teaser already, and this is what we like to do on this show, guys. If we're waiting for news or we're not sure, we let you know, and we'll follow it up when we do the props on Friday. Apologies for not having the prop shows this week, but you guys understand with the family and the travel how it was not feasible. But we will be back this Friday, and any games we're not sure about, that we talk about here, we might, table to make a decision then, but not these first 2 games. We both like just combining them as a teaser. Right now, I got a 2-teamer, Tyler. Maybe we'll add more as the show continues. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are laying 11 to the Atlanta Falcons. Seems a little steep to me, Tyler, but the Falcons are pretty bad. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, Falcons are bad. I got to see if Vita Vea's back in the lineup here, because if he's back in the lineup, he'll be a big help pushing Matt Ryan out of the pocket, getting some pressure on him. So small lean to Atlanta right now until I see that injury report, but I think the over here is the play. We know Tampa's good for at least 30 here, unless they just go real run heavy in time of possession, which Bruce Arians really doesn't like to do.
Okay.
And their defense has given up points here. They seen them give up 20+ to Atlanta earlier this year. If Atlanta can put together some points here, I think we definitely get up over that 50.5. So I think that's the best look in this game right now.
Okay. Now, this is the other thing we do on this early Tuesday show. We try to guess the market. So we know we like the over. Now we just have to time our entry point. Do we grab this now? Does the market like it? Or because Atlanta is so woeful on offense, do you think we can wait and get a better number later in the week?
I think people are going to look to hit the over because they know Atlanta's defense is bad and Tampa Bay could run it up in this spot to where they might only need 10 to 17 points out of Atlanta in garbage time to get you up over that number.
Okay.
So, I mean, maybe even a better approach is just getting on Tampa's team total over and leaving Atlanta out of it, just in case they do what they did to Chicago earlier in the year and they just blank them.
Interesting. And so let's see, correlated, the team total will be 51. That means that you got them winning by 11. That's what, like a 31-20. So it's going to be about 31.
Yeah, here I'm looking to see if either of the books has them right now.
When they do, it's going to be around 31. They might
30
juice
and a
you,
half minus 120. I think that's the better
but
approach. I think they're good for 35 here.
30 to 32 is almost dead, right?
I think you can get, there's a path to get to 31.
Okay. I guess with the missed field goals, yeah. But okay. Well,
But you
I
get
like
to
that team
24
total
and then
there.
you score the touchdown, you get to 31.
Yeah, I have Bookmaker as the book opener right now. I don't have team totals yet for that, but like I said, I just calculated. So Tyler likes the over, or maybe you just take the team total over, or maybe you just split your unit and you go half on each. But I think that's a great way to attack this game. I mean, let's say we're doing the pick and pool that's presented by RunPure Bets. I'm almost tempted to take the plus 11. Do you think that? I'm not going to bet it, but as far as you have to pick every game, and I have to take a stand. Am I crazy if I grab the 11?
No, I don't think so. I think
Okay.
that there's a possibility that they can lose this game by like a touchdown to 10 points to where you do sneak in with the plus 11.
Mm-hmm.
But there is also the path to where they just get the doors blown off them and they lose the game by 30 plus points. But you pin me down, it's probably taking the points with how Tampa Bay's defense has played lately. Until they
All
show me
right.
they're going to start locking teams down again, I
Yeah.
think you just got to take the dog points at the double digits or better.
And somewhere Joey Work is giving us a round of applause for taking the points. Another big spread here, Tyler. These games aren't close. Remember last week, all the bad teams were matched up against each other and all the good teams were matched up against each other? Not this week. The Denver Broncos plus 9.5 heading to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs, also coming off the bye. The Chiefs, of course, with the win over the Cowboys the week before they went on the bye. The Broncos are coming off a win over the Chargers last week. Now they're getting 9.5. Tyler, this is too high, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's too high. You said the Chargers and Cincinnati game we're on right now, right?
Pardon?
I broke up for a minute. I didn't.
Oh, I'm sorry. No. I'm on the Broncos and the Chiefs.
Broncos and the Chiefs. Okay.
So Broncos plus 9.5, Chiefs minus 9.5, and then the whole deal like Andy Reid off a bye, right? Like everybody loves that trend. So I feel I could be patient. I don't think this number's going down. I'm gonna grab Denver in the points. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, give me Teddy Two Gloves as a double-digit dog here.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's Andy Reid off the bye, this Denver team they returned Bradley Chubb on that defense, so I think they're going to pick up a notch back there. Kansas City shouldn't be able to run the ball that well here, and Surtain's been a great corner on the outside, so give me Denver plus 10 here.
All right, yeah. Jonathan Nelson agrees. Plus 9.5 seems way too high. Yeah, and we didn't mention that McCarthy's out for the Cowboys. I think that strengthens the Cowboys.
I think that puts the offense. I think it puts the offense into another gear because if it's Kellen Moore calling the plays and running the offense, good luck.
Give me that. Yeah, I like that. So thank you, Damon, for reminding that. And Jonathan agrees with us. 9.5 too high on the Broncos, but we agreed that's a weight spot, right?
Yeah, I think it's a weight spot because everyone's going to run to bet the Chiefs.
Yeah,
you might even get like an 11.5 closer to game time. Like
that'll be interesting.
The late Sunday night game too. Yeah, definitely.
Is it? Why did? I'm sorry. I apologize.
You threw me a curveball when you jumped all the way down there.
And for those, you can look at a bookmaker. I was just going right down the list on bookmaker. 10 for me, of course, West Coast. 10, 10, 10, 17, 20, 10, 10. So apologies for going out of order there. Let's move on to the Colts and the Texans. I checked the time. That's back in the 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern time slot. Another big spread, Tyler. Colts laying 9 to the Texans. The Texans looking pretty bad against the Jets. Do they bounce back?
No. This team laid 11 to them earlier in the year, and they beat them 35-3. The Colts team's finally realizing, use your offensive line, pound Jonathan Taylor into the ground. He's going to run for 100-plus yards and score at least 2 touchdowns in this matchup against this dreadful defense. I don't see how Houston's going to put points on the board against this Indy defense, and they're going to be looking to get a bounce-back spot for their defense after that performance against Leonard Fournette and them guys. So, give me Indy minus 8 here.
All right, I'm seeing 9, so the market agrees with you. So a little bit of juice. This is a very recent move there, but the market likes the Colts as well as Tyler.
You can even tease that one down to 2 because I don't see how Texans.
Well, for me, I'd have to tease it to 3, so I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I still think the 3 is good though. Spread. I'll
throw it in there. Close. I'm at plus 150 now. Let's go. Philadelphia Eagles minus 6.5. Heading to New York to take on the Jets, coming off the win, Tyler. The Eagles disappointed me last week. That was one of the teams that I had touted, that I bet on. And did they lay an egg against the Giants? Man, this team is so inconsistent. Must be so frustrating to be a fan of this team. Every time they show some promise, right? It's like 2 steps forward, but it's like one
I
giant
couldn't wait
step
for
back.
this moment, spread. I've been saying this team was a fraud for so long, and they just kept getting these spots where they were able to run teams down their throat.
Yeah.
And now they finally let Jalen Hurts throw the ball a bit more. And look, he threw a couple picks. Now he's hurt. And
Yeah,
this team drops again
Jalen
to
hurts
the
my
Giants.
feelings there. That was terrible.
Yep. But looking at this game, I can't back the Jets at plus 6.5 off a win. I'm not backing the Eagles minus 6.5 with a banged up quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how they score points in this game, though.
Under?
What do you think? Yep, under 45. I think that is the play here. Don't even overthink it. Zach Wilson and the guys are going to get blitzed, and so's Hurts if he plays. If he's not as mobile either, he's going to get sacked a lot more. Give me the under 45 in this one.
Tyler, I love it, man. We got to send you on vacation more often. You came back with the fire. He's had a definite side on each one of these games. So no wait and see for Tyler this week. Love to see it. He wants to know, did the Jets say that it's Zach Wilson for sure?
Yeah, I believe it's Zach Wilson. Okay. I don't see why he didn't get hurt last week, did he?
Yeah, I don't think
they're not going to pull him for the backup when they drafted him second overall.
Minshew. What team is Minshew on?
He's on the Eagles.
Is he going to play? Is Hurts getting pulled?
If Hurts sits, it would be Minshew that plays.
Would they bench Hurts because of performance, or is he hurt?
No, he's hurt. He banged up his ankle.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe the magnificent mullet will come back in there. Do we still like the under with the magnificent mullet Minshew in there?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we've seen these receivers drop passes a ton of times with these Eagles. So, yeah, I still like the under.
I can't imagine being a Philadelphia fan. You take Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson? I mean, that's going to be like our Luka deal. You know how, like, we can't just get over it? Like, we're not getting over Luka going.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Bagley ahead of Luka. Yeah, so. No, I like that magnificent mullet, Damon, so we appreciate the input there. Let's move on to the next game. Tyler still likes the under, even if it's the coolest quarterback in the NFL. The Los Angeles Chargers +3 against the Bengals. So, Tyler, like off our preseason preview, right, I would be like everything I own on the freaking Chargers, right, at this number. But the Bengals doing better than we expected. The Chargers, Tidal and I, we almost broke down in tears yesterday talking about how the Chargers have let us down. What do you think? What do you think we should do with this game? Because I'll tell you what, I'm completely staying away. This is one team that I vastly overrate, the Chargers, against the Bengals, who the team that I've most underrated.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this one, Chargers can't stop the run. And the Bengals finally learned that they need to run Mixon at least 20 times a game like they did in the first 3 games this year. When we had them completely wrong, we thought they were going to be bad, and they started off the year 3-0.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think Cincinnati's the player -3.5. And I think the over 50.5 is definitely in play, too, because we know the Chargers can put up points in bunches. But I think Cincinnati definitely gets the job done at home and wins this game.
Okay, well, I'll trust you because, like I said, I felt like that I had no feel for this game at all. And, it was 2 teams that have hurt me for different reasons. The Bengals, I didn't believe, and they proved me wrong. And the Chargers, I did believe in them. And now, like a parent, I said, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. The New York Giants are +3 heading to Miami to take on the Dolphins. The Dolphins, not necessarily surprised that they beat Carolina, right? Because those are 2 teams that are pretty bad. But the manner in which they won was very impressive. Tua's talking in the postgame they won the Super Bowl. And never seen a guy so happy off a regular season win. What do you make of this game here with the New York Giants, of course, getting that nice win over the Eagles, and then Miami getting a great win over the Panthers?
Yeah, I mean, 2 teams I really don't want to back, but if you had to pin me down, it'd be Miami -3. Mm-hmm. The under's a little short at 41.5. This is probably going to be that game we just ball up and throw out the window for the week.
That's fine. Yeah, I mean, really, the only reason people would pay attention to this game is if they're a fan of the Giants, they're a fan of the Dolphins, or they have money on it. I mean, let's be fair, this won't be the best quality of football.
We found all the better spots in the early games. Let's just not bet this one and keep the stress away.
Yeah, I'm fine with it. But like I said, if you're doing a pool where you pick every single game or whatever, I think the under is the best look there, 41.5. The Washington football team are +3 going against the Raiders coming off the win. So, Tyler, because, so that was the only game I pretty much missed. for the whole weekend because that was, on the West Coast and we had the early dinner. We're old, and I didn't, we didn't have the TV on during the game. So I actually missed the Raiders game. I watched it on tape when I got home, but, it's just really not the same when you already know what's going to happen. Now the Raiders are laying 3 against the football team. This is another team. I have no idea what to make of them. I was ready to write them off. They played very well against the Cowboys. I thought they were going to get embarrassed on national TV. They did not. But this seems to be the spots where they always do bad, right? Off a big win against a team they should beat, right? They usually fall on their faces. Washington football team, they got the win last night, but boy, was that one of the worst games of football of the whole year?
Yeah, I mean, it was ugly, but they were in sole control of that game the entire time. They ran Antonio Gibson like they should have. If Russ doesn't go down and throw that miracle touchdown on the last drive, they win the game by a double digit, or not double digits, by at least a possession. So, I mean, looking at this spot, the Raiders get more pressure on the pass than they do stopping the run. So they might get the Heineke and cause a couple of turnovers. But if Gibson's able to get the run established in this game, Washington's going to win this game. The Vegas has used Deshaun Jackson better in that Dallas matchup. I'm not sure if that works as much here because we just know Deshaun Jackson's always torched Dallas in his career. So small lean to the Washington side, but not going to really target this game. We'll probably find some props in this one, though. I think we'll find some low-hanging fruit.
All right. And guys, that's what in this industry we call a tease. So if you want those props, make sure you're subscribed to the RunPure Bets YouTube channel. While you're hitting that bell, hit the thumbs up as well, and you will be notified when Tyler and I go live on Friday. And I navigate the way as Tyler gives out a multitude of winning props for each game. We do that every Friday afternoon. The Baltimore Ravens -4.5 heading to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Steelers +4.5, total 44. I can't imagine what it would be like. How was it when you walked into work, right? I mean, you work with a bunch of Steelers fans. They had to be utterly disgusted. And for the Kings, right, and the Raiders, right, we were pretty used to it, right? I mean, you guys aren't used to
on the bright side,
like this.
I haven't been back to work yet since the
okay.
break, so I don't know how
those guys. What do you think they were all saying? Like all your friends that were Steelers fans. I mean, they had to have been upset, right?
They're just still saying how the Steelers have a chance at the playoffs and all that. That's just how Yinzers are. So,
what do you call them?
That's the Pittsburgh thing, Yinzers. That's what
I've never heard that before.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
If you look it up, you'll see it all.
Is that just for Steelers fans, or is it for any hopeless fan?
No, it's a Pittsburgh thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but as for that game, T.J. Watt's already announced out. The defense looked bad against Cincinnati, but I think Cincinnati's got a lot more firepower than this Baltimore team.
Oh, for sure. I think they have 3 wide receivers that are better than
anything Baltimore has. Yeah,
right. I'd rather have T. Higgins or
Tyler Boyd and more Chase.
Yeah, I think Boyd's better than Hollywood too. Hollywood's the best one, you would say, right?
Yeah, Hollywood's definitely their best receiver. Bateman hasn't showed us much yet, so can't really factor.
Maybe you could argue Mark Andrews, but let's be real.
That's probably the one. That's probably the one spot you take Mark Andrews over C.J. Osmwa, or however you say his last name.
Right, but now it's like you got a lumbering tight end as your number 1 option instead of the Bengals, who have that lumbering tight end as pretty much the 5th option because Mixon's got to be out of the game before they're dumping off to him.
Oh no, 100%. But I mean, small lean to the Ravens side. I would say the under here because I think they could play very ugly in this game. But I could see Pittsburgh giving up a ton of points, and Baltimore's defense hasn't looked good this year either. So it's going to be another game I think we just stay away from.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how Baltimore reacts. It's like based off the teams and what we've seen, I would lay the 4.5, but I've been doing this too long to ever really want to lay 4.5 on the road in a divisional game where these teams know each other so well. So as bad as Pittsburgh is, man, it's like these divisional games, you never really want to lay a lot of points here, especially with a storied rivalry such as this one, because I mean, you know me, I love Tomlin. Like I might as well be a Yinzer. I'll be an honorary Yinzer when I go visit you, Tyler, because I got the Mike Tomlin fathead there. Like I want him to be my personal life coach. So maybe I'm overrating him. But boy, this team's been terrible without Watt in there. Which is why in the pool I'll probably pick Baltimore. I just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if you had to take a pick in this game, I think you definitely have to take Baltimore without Watt on the defensive side. But I think we identified a couple other spots this week that are better targets than getting your money involved in this one. or the last couple games we talked about.
Yeah, definitely.
There's our guy
Jacksonville.
Tawny in the chat saying Baltimore blows the doors off of Pittsburgh.
Oh, so he's not a Yinzer then, right?
No, but he's smart enough to realize the team's bad. Like
Yeah.
Yinzers don't really like they won't admit the team is bad. Like they're like the offensive line's fine, like Ben's still good. We could run the ball. We got Claypool. Juju will be back. We'll win the Super Bowl next year. Like that's the Yinzer special spread.
All right. Well, my Yinzer would just be Mike Tomlin is the greatest leader of men since, and I won't make a bad history joke there. Let's move on to the next game. Jacksonville Jaguars are plus 13. They head to Los Angeles to take on the Rams. The Rams, of course, coming off of really what I would say, as a Rams, Jay and I both have futures on them, right? Pretty disappointed by their performance because I didn't feel that game was close. I was actually looking forward to that game, and Green Bay blew them away. I don't think the final score was anywhere near indicative of how much Green Bay controlled that game. Of course, it was in Lambeau, but you can't be excited. I know the Rams were a very popular pick, listening to all the shows, podcasts, just seeing what people were tweeting. So the Rams disappointed me. Disappointing a lot of people. Now they lay 13 against the Jacksonville Jaguars team. They got terrible news today, Tyler. Urban Meyer said he doesn't want any of these college jobs. As a Jaguars fan,
after
you
seeing
had to
that
be
Lincoln
hoping
Riley job, I'd be thinking twice about that.
What do you mean?
You see the deal he got? $100 million. They bought both of his houses for
and he's got
grand
private
over
jet wherever.
Yeah, they're like, use the private jet whenever you want it. Like,
and you're in Los Angeles. There's nowhere better way to be rich.
In LA.
Ask Jonathan Nelson. There's nowhere better in the world to be rich than Los Angeles, California. So, Urban Meyer, won't be able to be at USC. This could have been fun, making a lot of jokes, but we know that Lincoln's there. Jaguars are catching 13. Totals 47.5. I mean, do you get involved in this game, Tyler? I don't really know how to approach it.
I wish our guy Jay was here so I could bust his balls since I'm going to bust your balls about this Rams team. Because I've been saying it all along. Frauds. And everyone's like, oh, Matthew Stafford's good. He's got this. He was just stuck in Detroit. Well, look, did you see what's popping up on Twitter now, spread? His ATS record against teams over 500. It's terrible. He can't beat good teams. It's almost like he played for a garbage team his whole career. And their offensive line isn't good, but they did catch a couple bad matchups. This is going to be their get-right spot. They're going to blow the doors off this Jacksonville team. So it's Rams or no play in this game.
How much do you think the Rams are missing Brandon Staley, who coached them to the #1 defense in the NFL last season?
I think they're missing him a good bit, but I think they still have a lot of the players on that defense, and they just got to get some stuff worked out, working in Von Miller, getting Odell worked in a bit more than just the deep ball plays. So I think there's definitely some paths to where they get back on track. But in this matchup against this offensive line, these guys are going to get a ton of pressure on Lawrence. So
that's too bad. I like Trevor. I don't want to see him get beat up again.
He'll get better as it goes on.
What a terrible season for a guy that I was so excited about. So are you going to lay the 13 here?
Yeah, definitely lay the 13. They're going to win this game by at least 17 points, I think.
Wow.
I could see this being like a 35-0.
All right, now we talk about entry points. 13's a lot, right? You talked about those old guys who just gobble up numbers. Do you think
get it before it gets to 14?
Do you think everyone just takes the Rams?
Yeah. Everyone's going to throw this in teasers, even though you shouldn't tease this down because you're not hitting all the key numbers. But they're going to be like, oh, you're knocking it down.
Key number of 10.
Yeah, they're going to be like, oh, you knock it down so far. There's no way they don't win by this. So this game's going to get bet up to around 14.
Do you know they're minus 638 on the money line?
I see minus 700.
Yeah, that seems about right. Okay, so Tyler likes the Rams there. I hate laying double digits, but I think you're right. It's really tough to back.
Just look at the teams they've lost to in the last couple of weeks. Like Jacksonville couldn't hold any of them, so they're gonna win these. They're gonna win these games.
Jacksonville beat the Bills.
Yeah, but are we really sold on the Bills?
I think the Bills beat the Bills.
Yeah, the Bills can't even. Yeah.
All right. The last game, because I did this out of order, but I blame Bookmaker. Guys, log into your Bookmaker. You'll see what they did to me. San Francisco 49ers, minus 3.5, head into Seattle to take on the Seahawks, plus 3.5. Tyler, so here, let me contradict myself. I spoke earlier about how I want to grab the points in these divisional games. And, you could say recency bias, one game. No, it's every game this year. The Seattle Seahawks, their defense is terrible. They have the worst defense in the league, yards allowed. And the offense is basically just relying on Russ. I don't think he's 100%. The offensive line's terrible. They only rushed, they only got like 34 yards rushing last night. I mean,
Yeah,
how
that was
embarrassing
bad.
is that for a Pete Carroll team? So they're not playing to their philosophy at all. I think Russ is out. I think he's going to be gone after the year. I think he demands a trade again. And I think, I hate laying points on the road in a division game. But how do you not take the 49ers here? Talk some sense into me, Tyler.
This is another one spread. I was big on the 49ers at the beginning of the year.
Okay, take your lap, buddy.
and,
Don't get
and
too
two,
tired.
2 weeks ago, you're busting my balls about how bad this team is.
I was
and
ready to
look,
fire Shanahan.
Yeah, now look at them. They're right back in the playoff picture. They're probably going to snag one of them wild card spots. Title hit it on the head yesterday on the review. Having Elijah Mitchell back is big for the offense.
Yeah.
Now Debo's hurt he's week to week, I see, so he probably won't play on Sunday. We'll see how that goes. That could be big, but I still don't know how you stop this 49ers offense even without him. Mitchell's going to run all over him. Kittle will get open. Ayuk's more involved. So San Fran or no play for me in this one. Everyone's going to be like, oh, this is finally the buy low spot on Seattle. We've been saying that for 4 weeks now, and this number just keeps going lower and lower. This team stinks. They have way too many holes to patch, and you just can't cover it all up this year.
Yeah, I mean, this is where, we need to evolve as handicappers and not just do something because we've always done it, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, 10, 15 years ago when I started doing it, so I always bet, right? But I mean, started doing it seriously and really, trying to be educated and not just picking my favorite teams. 15 years ago, this is one of the big selling points that the older guys that were successful were talking to me about, and that's taking the points in a divisional game at home dog, grabbing points. It was like some of the guys, I swear that's all they bet. Was just grabbing home dogs in the division. But I think this is a case where we need to evolve, we need to advance, and you don't just knee jerk grab the points plus the hook because they put that 3.5 there for the reason, right, Tyler? Because if it's 3, they take way too much money on the Niners, right?
Yep, that and plus it's just divisional game. Could be another tight one because these teams do tend to play tight divisional games.
They do.
So it wouldn't surprise me to see a field goal separation of victory, but I just don't see Seattle's path to victory unless Rush just goes nuclear and just finds DK open, finds Lockett open, and San Fran just can't get anything going against this terrible defense, which I don't see how that happens.
So here's my concern. Deebo Samuel, have you heard news on whether or not he's going to play?
They said he was day to day, week to week. I'd say right now he's 65% he doesn't play.
Okay, so I wrote the article, I put it out today, but I was waiting on that Deebo news. Do you think I'm safe to bet this right now, or should I wait for Deebo news before I put the bet in?
No, I think it's still fine because you still have Ayuk who's making better plays. They're using Juwan Jennings a little bit more. Kittle's back, Mitchell's back. They have the backup running backs they can use too. They use check sometimes, so I think you're still safe there.
Wonderful. Great. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and place that right now. So let's do a quick review. What do we want to place right now that we think is going to move? We like the 49ers minus 3.5. That's going to move. You think the Rams minus 13 is going to move?
The Rams end up closer to minus 13.5, even maybe a flat 14.
Do you think the football team takes money?
That one I'm not right. That one I think we could leave off. We'll wait and see on that one.
I think the Raiders.
I think we'll have more props in that game on Friday.
I think the Raiders take money coming off that win, don't you?
I think that'd be better for us because I want to target the Washington side more.
I think we'll get a 3.5 on Friday. Let's hold off on that. I know you like the Bengals minus 3. I think that's going to be pretty even.
I think you hit the over on that game too right now because I think you're going to see a ton of points in that Cincinnati Chargers matchup. I think that's going to be the game we see our DFS guys pinpoint as the big game you want to stack up.
Okay, and then the over 51 on the Buccaneers. You say we hit that right now as well, right?
Yes. And
dude, this is the most plays we've had on Tuesday.
I also
ever.
think you get on the Colts minus 8 right now. Even though it's past the 7, I just don't see how the Texans keep it close. Taylor's going to run all over this team.
All right. Well,
and of course, you lock in the teaser we built.
Yeah. So the teaser we built, I'm doing it right now. Vikings minus 1, Cardinals minus 1.5, Colts minus 3. So sorry we went out of order, guys. The final game is the Broncos and the Chiefs. We both like the 9.5, but we think the Chiefs will take money. So we will revisit that on Friday. Tyler, this is a fun show, man. We got through the card. Are you tired from taking all those victory laps?
I mean, a little bit.
Wow. I mean, That's a
I'm a little
good
out of shape
workout.
and haven't had that good of a run, but so
Yeah. I mean,
taking
wow.
victory laps takes a lot out of me nowadays. But we'll get back
Yeah.
on track with the betting.
Yeah, sounds good. All right. Well, that was fantastic. You've been right about a lot of things. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Remember, the show is brought to you by RunPure Bets. Head on over to runpurebets.com. Use the promo code BETS25 off to become a member. Have access to the premium shows, the Discord, and, of course, the plays on the spreadsheet. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, and we will be back tomorrow at 3:30 Eastern, where we'll be breaking down the NBA. And, Tyler, I've been talking to everyone. We're going to have a giveaway tomorrow. So please, everybody, if you can, hey, if you work, man, and you catch it late, we appreciate you supporting the show. But if you're able to be there live, we're going to have a fun little contest. And technically, you don't need to watch it live, but of course, it would be a little better. We will have a contest tomorrow. I'm looking forward to kicking that off, a new way to just kind of, let everyone know that we appreciate you guys watching. So hope you guys understand that we do appreciate all your support, and run pure.